Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, My Lord. This is Sanskruti. I hope you all are doing well. So, as I stated in my earlier video, that the general defenses that I have taken, the very short introduction I have given to all the general defenses, but in the coming video, we'll be going in the detail of that general defenses. For today's video, I have taken three defenses, that is voluntary non-fit injuria, second is act of God, and the third is inevitable accident. So before we start this, I request you all to please subscribe this channel and please show some love and please press the bell icon also, so the new video will notify you. Thank you. So let us begin with, we have studied general defense. So what is general defense? General defenses means act done in special circumstances. Okay, those acts which are done in the special circumstances are known as tort, but in the absence of the special circumstances it may not called as tort. Okay, जनरल डिफेंसेस को हम या तो जस्टिफिकेशन ऑफ टॉट भी बोल सकते हैं. As I said that there are different defenses for different tort, but there are some defenses that are applicable to all the torts. Okay, we have seen this. We have seen that defenses in my earlier video. So let us begin with our first general defenses, that is voluntary non-fit injuria. What do you mean by voluntary non-fit injuria? Now the term here says that voluntary means voluntarily. Okay, voluntarily itself means the willingness. The injuria means the injury. Okay, so now we can say that you are giving a willingness to the injury. Okay, we can say that you are giving your consent. Okay, your willingness to the harm that has been caused. Okay, that will be caused in the future. You are giving your consent to that. Okay, so voluntary non-fit injuria means what is consented to is not an injury. Okay, the harm that is caused to the plaintiff by its own consent is not known as injury. We can't say that as a injury, and the plaintiff cannot sue the defendant for it because he himself has given the consent to the defendant. यहाँ पे अगर हम देखें, अगर प्लेंटिफ यहाँ पे अगर खुद विलिंगनेसली जाता है, ओके, not without any pressure or something, but he willingness, if he goes, okay, he cannot sue the defendant for the injury because he has given a consent to that act, or he has consented to that act. Now there are again two types of consent. The first is express consent and the second is implied consent. Express consent means when a person willingly or voluntarily entered in an act, okay, that he knows that it has a risk, or it can cause him an injury. Okay, so that whole act is not known as injury. Okay, no man can enforce a right that he has voluntarily entered into that act. Let's take an example. If I go to an surgeon, okay, for my operation, okay, so now due to some accident, he has caused me an injury. So in that case, I cannot sue the surgeon for this, that you have caused me an injury, so I can sue you. I cannot, because I have voluntarily consented to that. Now even in usual cases, you can see in hospitals also, before surgeon they gave you a form. Okay, you need to sign on that form. That signature means that you have consented to that operation. Okay, वो जो फॉर्म रहता है उसमें सारे पॉसिबिलिटीज लिखी होती है. या तो ऑपरेशन में कोई भी गलती हुई तो उसकी जिम्मेदार हॉस्पिटल नहीं होगा, और या तो उसका जिम्मेदार वो भी नहीं होगा जो डॉक्टर वो परफॉर्म कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हम एक चीज ले सकते हैं, दैट इफ ड्यू टू सम रीजन वहाँ पे अगर कोई इंजरी हो सकती है तो प्लेंटिफ यहाँ पे डिफेंडेंट को स्यू नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज ही हिमसेल्फ हैज गिवन अ कंसेंट टू हिम. Similarly, if any person has come at my home by the invitation, okay, listen properly. If someone has come over my house, okay, on an invitation which I have given to him, I cannot plead him in the case of trespass. Okay, मैं उसको trespass के अंदर भी नहीं ले सकती that he has come in my house because I have given him the invitation to come over my house. ओके तो यहाँ पे मैं उसको स्यू नहीं कर सकती कि भाई उसने ट्रेसपास कर दिया है. ठीक है. सो नाउ द सेकंड इज इम्प्लाइड कंसेंट. हियर इन सच केसेस इन द इम्प्लाइड कंसेंट द प्लेंटिफ हैज नॉट गिवन अ कंसेंट टू द इंजरी. गेटिंग the plaintiff or the plaintiff has not given a consent to the injury, but he has given a consent to the thing that is causing injury. Okay, for example we can say that the players of hockey or cricket or football, okay, now these players have impliedly consented to that game. Okay, now if something happens in that game, so the player cannot sue the another player to plead to compensate him because this is very usual in such kinds of games. Similarly, if two men enter a game, okay, we can say a game of sword. Okay, so now we can presume that they both have impliedly consented to that danger, to that harm that can be caused in that game of sword. Okay, now if a person has injured another person, so that person that person cannot sue him because they have impliedly consented over that. Same as you can see that if a spectator goes for a cricket stadium to enjoy some matches, but anyhow something happens and that ball has come over out of the ball has come out of the stadium and it has injured the plaintiff. Now the plaintiff cannot sue that player, getting, because you are impliedly consented over it to watch that game. So that was express consent and implied consent. Now it will be better understand with the case law. So there is a case law called Hall versus Brooklands Auto Racing Club. Here the plaintiff was a spectator in the club. Now what happened is, due to some reason, the car has collided. Both cars have collided with each other, due to which the car was thrown out away of the stadium, and it has injured a plaintiff. Now the plaintiff cannot sue the player because he himself has gone over there for his enjoyment. He has himself impliedly consented, even after knowing that there could be a risk to his own life. But still, in spite of that, he went there and he has himself impliedly consented to that act, so he cannot sue the defendant. So court upheld that in this case the defendant was not liable to pay the compensation because the plaintiff has impliedly consented to that act. Now there are again three essentials for this implied consent. What is that? The consent must be free. Now the consent must be free. When will be the consent will be a free consent? Okay, the consent will be a free consent when the consent is not under a pressure, okay, not under a fraud and not even under a mistaken. That when the consent will be called a free consent. Free consent means there should be a no undue influence, there should be no fraud, or there should be no pressure against it. Okay, so that must be called a consent must be free. Means that he has voluntarily entered by his own rights. Second is act must be lawful. Act must be lawful in the sense that the acts, those are the these acts, lawful acts. These acts cannot make unlawful acts lawful. Okay. Now for an example, we can take in the game of boxing game. there is a rule that player need to box with the gloves, but if he fights with a naked fist, okay, so here the defendant will be liable. Okay, if some pressure has been if intentionally some pressure has been done, if that acts not intentionally, so here the defendant will be liable. The third is maxim, that is non-volenti, non-scienti, non-fit injuria. Means knowledge must consented. Here it is not volenti, non-scienti, non-fit injuria, but a volenti non-fit injuria. Okay, mere knowledge to that act is not consented. Now let's go on the second defense, that is act of God. Act of God means those incidents, those acts which are of natural forces, which has been done in the supernatural forces, which does not have any human intervention, which does not have connection with the human agency. Okay, those are known as act of God. Means those acts which human cannot anticipate it, that is known as act of God. सो एक्ट ऑफ गॉड में एक केस हम देख सकते हैं, निकोल्स वर्सेस मार्शलैंड। यहाँ पे जो प्लेंटिफ की जो लैंड पे देयर वाज some kind of bank, you can say a safe or like something to store water that was built on the plaintiff land. Now what happened is, due to heavy rainfall, okay, the embankments of that safe, okay, was burst, due to which the water that was stored in that tank has come up, and जिससे हुआ ये जो प्लेंटिफ था उसके लैंड पे वो फ्लड आ गया. नाउ हियर he sued him in the court, but the court upheld that it was not intentionally, but it was of the supernatural force, that the defendant was not here liable, because there was an act of God in this, so he cannot sue him for the compensation. But now एक दूसरा केस हम अगर देख सकते हैं, वो है कल्लूलाल वर्सेस हेमचंद्र. इसमें हुआ ये था कि सेम चीज थी, जिससे जो प्लेंटिफ का जो घर था उसके जो दरवाजे थे, एक उसने जो चीज बना के रखी थी, डिफेंडेंट ने जो चीज बना के रखी थी, उससे हुआ ये, जब बारिश हुई थी तो उससे जो उनके घर का जो दरवाजा था, वो दरवाजा टूट के उनके दोनों लड़कों की उसमें डेथ हो गई. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे जब उन्होंने स्यू किया डिफेंडेंट को, सो द कोर्ट अपील दैट हियर द डिफेंडेंट वाज लायबल. व्हाई? नाउ ऐसी जगह पे तुम ये कर रहे हो, मतलब एक्ट ऑफ गॉड मीन्स द डिफेंडेंट शुड नॉट have an anticipation of those natural forces. Okay, but here the persons who were residing in that area, they know that there is a heavy rainfall every now and then. Okay, in spite of that, he built that storage tank, so due to which with that heavy rainfall it burst out and it has caused a injury, it has caused the death of their sons. So now here the court appealed that the defendant was liable because it was ought to the anticipation of those persons who were residing there. They know that every now and then वो बारिश होती है जिससे हमको दिक्कत होती है. So act of God में basically चीज ये होती है कि डिफेंडेंट को उसके जो नेचुरल फोर्सेस है उसका कोई उसको एंटिसिपेट नहीं होना चाहिए, उसको पता नहीं रहना चाहिए. नेचुरल फोर्सेस मतलब क्या होता है? बेसिकली नेचुरल फोर्सेस का मतलब क्या होता है? नेचुरल फोर्सेस का मतलब ये होता है कि कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्ट ऑफ गॉड. बट इफ यू नो आपके एरिया में हमेशा बारिश होती है, हमेशा फ्लड आता है, तो उसी जगह पे आप कुछ जैसे बिल्ड करते हो, तो हियर यू आर लायबल बिकॉज यू नो कि ऐसी जगह पे ऐसी चीज होती है, आप एंटिसिपेट उसको कर सकते हो. एक्ट ऑफ गॉड जनरली मीन्स कि आप उसको कभी एंटिसिपेट ही नहीं कर सकते. आप चलते घूमते कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है आपके साथ. दैट इज नोन एज एक्ट ऑफ गॉड. Now the third defense is inevitable accident. What do you mean by inevitable accident? Inevitable accident means those accidents which has been caused by unluckily accident. Okay, that means no human prudence can take amount of care even after, despite of taking a care, you cannot avoid that accident. That is called inevitable accident. ऐसा accident जहाँ पे आपने सारे reasonable care ली थी, सब कुछ लिया था, उसके बाद भी आप उसको prevent नहीं कर सकते. That is called inevitable accident. उसका एक बहुत अच्छा famous case law है, that is Farden versus Harcourt. यहाँ पे हुआ ये था, the husband and wife has parked a car in front of some shop and has went to the shopping. Now what they have done is, there was a dog in their car, but before leaving their car, they had made sure that the doors of their car were properly locked, so the dog could not come out. But now what happened is, when the plaintiff was passing by that car, okay, so now the dog has watched the plaintiff, watched their clothes. Their clothes were so attractive, due to which the dog got excited, and he has jumped in the car, due to which the glass of that window has broke. Now what happened is, due to which the piece of the glass has gone into the eye of the plaintiff. तो उसको तो वो कांच जो उसकी आंख में जो गया था, वो तो उसको निकालना ही था. Now here what happened is, he sued the defendant, but now the court upheld that the defendant was not liable, because he has taken every possible care, he has taken every precaution so that the dog could not come out. He has locked his car properly, so the dog cannot just move out of that car unless they come after their shopping. So here the defendant was not liable, because उसने सारी अपनी केयर की थी, उसका कोई नेग्लिजेंस नहीं था उसके साइड पे. तो यहाँ पे कोर्ट ने ये बोला कि here the defendant was not liable. So there are some cases, there are some accident which you cannot avoid even after taking every precaution and every care. You cannot avoid that accident. So we have seen today we have seen the three defenses, that is voluntary non-fit injuria, act of God and inevitable accident. So अब हमने जो तीन डिफेंसेस लिए हैं, जो इसके बाद के जो डिफेंसेस है वो हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में ज़रूर उसको डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. So for the today's topic we have seen is, let's take a quick recap for this. The general defenses. General defenses का मतलब है act done in some special circumstances. ठीक है, उसका डिफेंस हमने देखा था वॉलंटरी नॉन फिट इंजुरिया, और उसमें एक्सप्रेस कंसेंट एंड इम्प्लाइड कंसेंट. उसके जो एसेंशियल्स है, उसके जो तीन एसेंशियल्स मेनली है, दैट इज कंसेंट मस्ट बी फ्री, एक्ट मस्ट बी लॉफुल, और मैक्सिम जो है वॉलंटरी नॉन साइंटिफिक नॉन फिट इंजुरिया. सेकेंड इज एक्ट ऑफ गॉड. उसका केस लॉ हमने देखा निकोल्स वर्सेस मार्शलैंड. नेक्स्ट इज इनएविटेबल एक्सीडेंट. उसका केस लॉ हमने देखा फार्डन वर्सेस Harcourt. Like this video if you are clear with the concept of the general defenses and these three defenses that we have taken for today's video. So please like this video, please share this video to your family and friends so they could know about this law, and even please subscribe to this channel, even those people who are not related to law. Okay, even you can please subscribe to this channel, and I would really request you all to please, if you have any types of queries or if you have any question, please ping me in the comment section so I could reach up to you and make videos on that topic as well. Thank you.